Hi Virgo, welcome to your December 2016 love reading. It's Raina here, and so I just wanted to say before I put out the cards very briefly that Venus, which is the goddess of love and beauty, and a planet that we look to in its transit through the chart of, areas where it can bestow love and beauty, and that, and by extension also money, is going to be for the first 7 days in your 5th house of romance. So that's really wonderful for those who are single and looking to have any kind of romantic partner attracted to you, because Venus tends to bring charm to the person, and in the 5th house it can be great for attracting love relationships. And then on December 7th, it goes into Aquarius, and that is your 6th house of health, but also of the workplace. So you might meet somebody in your office or, by extension, your job. So that can also be something that happens during December. So interesting. I think I'm going to just go boom, boom, boom. Just doing this cutting of the cards. Just you can see the back of the cards. Oops. A piece of my, what do you call this thing? Tripod. Just fell off, it looks like. Hope that wasn't an important piece. Oh, I got your card, Hermit. Okay. Wow. Interesting. It said last month I'd been getting the 6 of Cups a lot. Wow. How many major arcana cards are there? 4? I only drew 7 cards. So the major arcana are the, cards like the Moon, the Star, and things like that. The Empress, and the Hermit. I'm covering your card. This is your card. This card associated with Virgo. When you have a lot of major arcana cards, it can point to a significant period of time. The minor arcana, like the 6 of Cups, for instance, these are kind of like daily or short-term transits that, like, for instance, in astrology we'd say like the moon transits, which are not it's happening very quickly, versus Pluto being in Capricorn and lasting 12 years, 14 years, or whatever it is. So actually I think it's about like 15 years or 16 years it's in one sign. Wow, that's a long time for a transit. But it's an outer planet, so that's why it affects a large variety of people of different years who are born during different years. So in any case, this could be December could be significant for you. Let's put it that way. You're coming off of that solar eclipse in September 1st in your sign. So Virgos, these eclipse energies can last for 3 to 6 months. So, you might just be seeing a lot of change in your life in general, but it would be like new beginnings, okay? So let's look. The overall energy is the Empress. This is the Earth Mother. This could be definitely you because you're an Earth sign. But, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Why is the Empress? It's associated with Venus. Venus rules Taurus and it rules Virgo. Why is it, not Virgo, Libra. Why is it associated with Taurus? Why is it associated with Libra and not Taurus? Since it's considered an Earth Mother energy. It should be connected to Taurus. but it's not. It's connected to Libra. So there might be a Libran that's in your life in the month of December. Maybe it's somebody you met in November. It doesn't have to be that you meet them in December, but this is somebody that is prominent. But it could just be you being very earthy, sensual, creative. Could be, you become a mother. Anything of that sort. But associated with your love life. If you're creative, it could be that you're feeling, maybe you meet somebody and they spark your creativity. Maybe you are already an artist and they just happen to, inspire you. But there's a very creative, juicy quality coming out of you in December in some fashion. And let's look at the past to see why this is the case. Well, this could be that you're having an affair. And, I was going to say, you've taken a lover. And, the Knight of Wands can be somebody who is, it's a passionate affair. So it's not that you're, putting this person's name on your bank account, which is something, a typical Virgo person might be thinking very pragmatically. Okay, we're together now. We're going to do a joint. We're going to buy a house together or something. No, this is something that because it's wands, it's fire, it's energy. Could be a Sagittarian. This card is connected to Sag, and you are in that sensual state of mind. But it could be any fire sign. To me, I would associate it more with an Aries, just because I think of, the warrior energy. And then the other fire sign is Leo, which is adjacent to you, and that could certainly be somebody that you're involved with. Sometimes the Knight of Wands is known as a good time Charlie, somebody who is has commitment issues. So even though you may be having an affair, in the back of your mind, you may be thinking, I want to have a long-term relationship with this person. So just to make you, more grounded about that, just remember that the behavior that you're engaged in, if it's just a physical relationship, then you have to take it, as it is, take it as it comes, and don't build it into something more than it is. If that's, like, let's say you're a woman who wants to become a mother, as the Empress card suggests, and you're with somebody who's a player. Well, you're with somebody who may be a lot of fun to be around. They're kind of unpredictable. They're kind of exciting and a little bit dangerous, but they're not necessarily stable. The Knight of Wands is not necessarily a stable energy, but it is a very energizing, an energizing energy. I'm trying to get away from saying the word energy too much because it just sounds like, like wow, man, energy. But, I have a moon in Virgo, so I get a little bit irritated by things, even when I'm coming out of my own mouth. And yet, what else can I say? I mean, it's not this thing that you can hold in your hands. It's like an energy. It's something that is part of who they are, and you have to accept it for what it is. And you can't demonize a person for not committing if that's not who they are. And so you have to be the one to determine for yourself what it is that you are, what your expectations are in a relationship. It's not always the other person who determines that. I mean, it never is, really. You are the one who determines who you end up with. And actually, that goes along with this card, because this little Queen of Swords, this is, I think, another facet of yourself that maybe you have to embody. This is not an advice card. Maybe this is something that you decide to adopt, because this is more of a head over heart type of thing. And you have to kind of, and that doesn't mean that you have to not be in that situation. Let's say you were in a long-term marriage and now you're having an affair. As long as it's not hurting anybody, that is perfectly fine, but you have to be realistic about what it is. And this Queen of Swords is somebody who cuts to the chase, who knows, when you see a queen versus a king, there's always that feminine energy that is present. So it's always like the intuitive, the emotional. But the swords is able to kind of get on top of that. But it's not like a king of swords that is really, really detached from the emotions. There's always the emotions, the emotional side with the Queen of Swords, but she has, she's balancing them a lot better. And she's able to use her mind as an instrument to help her rather than to hinder her when it comes to making decisions. And that's, you can employ that. Now, you could also say that there is, that could be also an affirming of that Libran energy. That might be somebody who is a Libran, because Libra is an air sign. It could be another air sign such as Gemini or Aquarius, but because the Empress is the sign Libra, that's why I'm, thinking that it might be actually affirming that a Libra person is in the picture. The higher message in all of this, and this is kind of like the spiritual messages, the Moon card, beware of deception, beware of, and this could even be deceiving yourself. As I said before, if you're making more of a relationship than it really is, beware of that, because that could create a lot of unnecessary heartache. A lot of times people bring it on themselves when they get involved with somebody who never pretended to be anything other than they were, and yet the person created a false narrative because they wanted it to be that way. The Moon card is also a creative card. So under the Empress card, it really, may be that somebody is sparking that childlike part of yourself. And I'm thinking of this card as the end result within you. And maybe you feel like, something has been, come alive in you. Because I'm thinking with that Knight of Wands, this person can really be a catalyst for the person that they're dealing with. And for a Virgo person who tends to be very, I was going to say buttoned up and very cautious in life, this can, give you a little bit of a jolt, but in a positive way, and, make you a little bit less in a rut, in a routine, and more excited. And creativity is all about tapping into the inner child. And I feel like that could be coming up for you. The Moon card can also point to maybe even spiritual feelings of a connection on a deeper level. The advice is the Star card. Going back to the idea of some of you with air signs, this could be an Aquarian who you have hooked up with. And but this is a card of somebody who may have been through something and now is having their faith in life restored. And that's a wonderful, the Star card is always considered one of the most positive cards. And I think that's the reason why, because it's like when you've been through the ringer and you come out the other end, you may have a few bruises, but you still believe. I just thought of the Cubs because I was born in Chicago, lived here all my life in this area, and just they finally won the World Series after 108 years. And so that is amazing. 108 is the spiritual, it's a number of beads, when you do a mantra with beads, that's the number that there are on this string. It's 108. It's a mystical number. It adds up to 9. So that's the same kind of thing. It's like you may have had like a drought in terms of relationships for many years. Or even if you were in a marriage that was very, very loveless, and you finally got rid of that situation, you may have thought, I'm never going to love again, and something comes in for you that's really beautiful. I feel that this could even be a person from the past, because we have the Six of Cups. This could be also a soulmate energy. And actually, the star card can indicate that somebody from, maybe a loved one that has crossed over is guiding you, your spirit guides, and who knows, maybe you will be guided to a certain place where you will meet that perfect person. But it could be somebody from the past. It could be somebody who is a water sign. That the moon card is associated with Cancer. And so it could be a Cancer, it could be a Pisces, your opposite sign. It could be a Scorpio. And that's wonderful. I'm going to just say one more word about that, but I did kind of go out of order. I meant to talk about what's crossing you. And this is a Hermit card. The only thing, the Hermit is your card, as I said before. It's a number 9. So it's a number of humanitarian vibration and contemplation. The only thing I would say is that if you're somebody who has been hurt in the past, you may kind of, be a little bit gun shy, and you may have kind of kept to yourself. And if you do that, you can't meet a new person. So be careful about too much isolation. Also be careful of not learning from the past. Garnering that wisdom that comes from any negative relationships that you've been in. Sometimes people, they only carry the scars, but they never carry the wisdom of that past relationship. And so that could be, not learning from what the negative situation that happened. But again, the Six of Cups, 6 is a number that's connected to Venus. So I have 2 connections to Venus with the Empress card and the Six of Cups. The number 6. Now, domestic bliss. But with the cups, we have the emotional part of this. This could be a card of finding your soulmate. This could be a card of children. So again, there's another child, a vibe of children. Whether you want children, whether you will, somehow find comfort with your children, but definitely in a romantic sense, it could be just yearning for a relationship with somebody that is uncomplicated, that doesn't drain you in terms of, their demands, the incompatibility, which, where you're always like misunderstanding one another. So there could be a real sense of domestic bliss with somebody who kind of like is an innocent, the return of innocence to your life. And that would be really a godsend, I think. So, interesting cards here. I hope you enjoyed this, Virgo. If you would like a private reading using your natal chart with the tarot, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a great December. Bye.